Good morning, all of you. I'm tuning in from my car, as you see. I've just dropped off my 8-year-old, and I so profoundly feel the urge to start sharing more about my vision of healthcare, and specifically my vision of a new relationship between the doctor and the patient. It might also be the relationship between other facilitators and their clients, but my experience is the one as both being a patient for many years of my life, since I was maybe 7, and my experience from being a medical doctor. And this weekend, my daughter saw a friend that we met in the summer, and I spoke to her parents about my vision, and I really, really felt that I'm not sharing this in a way so that you, who might need to hear it or want to hear it, can actually receive and find out if it resonates within you. So the relationship between the patient and doctor is based on very old paradigms, stories. It is based on the story of the Samaritan who picks up a fainted other human being on the road and helps this person stand up and regain balance regarding their physical well-being. So this is a beautiful gesture, and the role of the medical doctor is based on this calling, this urge to help other people rise when they have fallen, or you can say save them from falling off the cliff when the body suddenly fails in some way, or the mind for that sake. But what I see now, and through my 18 years as a medical doctor, I see that we have come to a, you can say, crossroad. There are different roles that we have to learn how to act out in the relationship between the patient and the doctor. This one, the old one, the classical doctor's role, where you are the savior, or you are the one helping the other person to get back on their feet. That is still very functional in acute illness, during disease where you lose your consciousness, or when you're so weak that you cannot make decisions. Maybe you're not eating anymore, maybe you're very, very infected, or you're emotionally completely out of balance. So there are definitely situations within the modern medical field where this relationship is very valuable. But the thing is, the training to become a doctor really focuses on working with stepping into this character or this role. And I've really thought, why is that? And I see that we're actually, as human, we are not used to stepping in and saving other human, because we're born equal. We're born, I'm not born to decide what is your path in life. So when I have to step into this very dictating and the role of the leader in the room. I have to work on this. I see we train that as medical doctors. We train it a lot. We train in teams. We become the leader of the medical, for example, for cardiac arrest. We become the leader of that team, and we have to work out how to orchestrate this whole cardiac arrest situation. So this is something we really train quite a lot when we are medical students. And what I see is that we tend to forget the other part of being a medical doctor. And now I've specialized in general medicine, and I've been working with human, both just on their path, not sick, but within the field of prevention, but also, of course, people who have symptoms. And what I see in maybe 90% of the contacts I had in general practice was that the room was very difficult to recalibrate. So it kept on being the room where I was supposed to be the leader in charge of what happens in the room, and the patient stepped into the classical patient role, which was the victim. There has to be a victim when you have a savior, right? So that was a huge problem, because when you step into the role of the victim, then you are not capable of making your own decisions. You are not empowered. And what I see today is, if we want to change health, we have to start empowering ourselves and each other to make wise, good decisions for ourselves regarding the way we live, because so many people get sick from how we live today. So what I see is one of the main problems is that the foundation of healthcare today, with how we act in this relationship. And I see the relationship between the doctor and the patient as the foundation of actually the healing journey, because those two people have to find out, okay, what is the problem? How can we solve it? How do we move forward from here? And if this assessment is not true, if you cannot be honest, if you step into the role of the victim and you don't feel capable of telling your truth, speaking your truth, deciding what you actually want to do with your life and your situation, then the assessment will be wrong. The foundation of the assessment will be something that is off from the reality that you live in. And we do have very different lives. We have very different bodies and stories. So we have to find our own way to become more whole and more well in our physical and mental and emotional body. So this is my mission and purpose, is to address this and to remind you that you can actually change it by stepping out of this victim role and into empowerment before entering the doctor's office. But the thing is, even when you do that, there are still unwritten rules within the room which are very difficult to change. I've seen it. I've tried it. I've always felt that I wanted to be in an equal and meaningful conversation with the people that I'm supposed to guide or help see blind spots. That's also what we do in the medical field, I see, or I think. But I couldn't just change it in my room, because it was so engraved within how we see this room and these two roles. So I want to share this with you. I hope it resonates. If it does, maybe you want to write me a comment. We need to change this. We need to change it both by addressing it at medical school so that we can actually feel comfortable in both being the classical Samaritan and Savior, because we sometimes have to step into that role, and it is difficult for most of us. But we also need to feel comfortable and competent in the role of the expert who is equal and who is not taking responsibility over other people's lives and their decisions. We are guiding, we are handing and delivering information, but we cannot carry the decisions of other people. So thank you so much for listening. Share this with friends or others if you feel it resonates, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. I will try and share more. This is important. Maybe it seems a little nerdy or irrelevant, but yeah, it is such a big part of why healthcare today can seem like a room. This relationship can sometimes feel like a room where we imprison each other, where we are stuck just try and tell you that your life will be going in a special direction, but that's not how I see the role should be. Thank you for listening. Have a beautiful day. Bye.